A total of 5 children have died from suspected food poisoning this week. 2 died in Naledi after allegedly eating biscuits, and 1 died in Soweto. And 2 others died, of course, after they consumed food believed to have been bought from a West Rand taxi rank. Now, the health department says investigations are underway and they have now sent food to the labs for testing. But eNCA reporter Manqoba Mchunu is tracking the story for us and joins me now to, of course, give us these details. Manqoba, a very warm good morning to you. I had a conversation with the Chief Director at the Health Department, Dudula Mudiba, confirming that indeed those food samples have now been taken to the lab and they do await investigations to conclude.
Well, certainly, Tumelo, that's the understanding from the officials and authorities who are saying that they have now taken some of the samples from these shops, and these samples are then going to be tested at the various laboratories. Of course, this forms part of the bigger investigation to try and really piece together what led to the deaths of these 5 children. So there are now 5 that have been confirmed so far, 2 of them from Naledi, and these are from the group of children that had eaten, we understand, biscuits on Sunday afternoon. They then complained of stomach cramps just hours later on, and when they were asked as to what they had eaten, they then told their families that they had bought biscuits from one of the foreign-owned spaza shops, and they were then rushed to hospital. But one of them didn't even make it to the hospital. A 4-year-old died on the way to hospital, and a 6-year-old died at the hospital upon arrival. So it just gives you a sense, Tumelo, of the devastation and the shock that these families are going through. These were children who had gone out playing. They didn't have any signs of illness or anything, and just in the late hours of the evening they then became ill, and that's up until they died. And then we also went to another family, Tumelo. This family is in Protea South, and we understand that their son, a 14-year-old, died on Tuesday after consuming also, we understand, snacks that had bought from one of the shops. And we are currently now here in South Deep, in Western area, where there are 2 other families that have lost 2 children. Those children, understand, are between the ages of 2 and 3. There are also 2 other children that are currently in hospital, a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. We're still trying to get access. They're staying in a mine complex, so there's a bit of issues as far as security is concerned, but we're trying to get to the families just to understand what happened to those families. But I want to bring in quickly the member from Operation Dudula, Davis, just to give us a sense. Of course, as Operation Dudula, you've been on the ground, with these families, assisting these families to try and help them bury their children. But of course, you've also had some concerns as far as these shops are concerned.
Yeah, we've got a concern, a very, very, very painful concern. And we have been sending the message to all the South Africans to please, let's refrain from buying from those illegal foreigners who just came to our country to make sure that they wreck South Africa into pieces. They steal our country. They make sure that they finish about us.
But the results are not out yet, the tests that are being done. So isn't it a bit irresponsible to say people must not buy from these shops, whereas the proof that the illness actually comes from, or the poisoning comes from there, has not out yet?
We use what we can say norms and values. There is this kind of. Last time we went to one of the shops. We took biscuits. We asked the owner to eat, the one who's the owner of the shop, please, can you eat this biscuit? Because you are selling this biscuit. He was crying. He didn't even want to eat them. Up until he was crying to show that he doesn't want to eat those biscuits. But he's selling them. Why he's selling something that he cannot eat? We must know as South Africans, all these people who are all these spaza shops, foreigners, Ethiopians who are selling, they don't eat what they sell. That tells you very well that whatever they are selling is not good. It's not good for human consumption. We even went to health department. We have proof. We have letters from the lab that shows that these things are not good for human consumption. But what can we say? Our government will penalize them with 300 rand penalty, 400 rand penalty. We do have the proofs of those results. from the what you call health department, because they don't penalize them. I mean, if you find something fake, rotten, expired, that shop needs to be closed. You can see the owner doesn't want to eat what he's selling. What does that tell you? If I'm preparing food for you, then I don't eat that food. What does that mean? Because they should eat those food. Like now in South Africa, in fact, we are just spectators. We are watching. We are dying. And as Operation Dudula, we cannot just fold our hands and say, no, it's fine. We give everything to the government.
So what do you want to see happen?
We want to see them going back to their homes, because there's nothing that I can say they should stay in our country, whereas they've killed our people. Yes.
So about the shops, what are you saying about those shops? Because they are there and the community members are buying from these shops.
Those shops, we will help the landlord. We must make a plan, because we cannot ban those shops. We will help the landlord so as those shops could be our South African shop. We can own them. Even our premier of Gauteng, last time he said, where are those shops of Abu Shabalala? We need those shops back. We must bring our economy back. But till today, he never did anything. So South Africa, we are just talking. Even our government, they're just talking. They don't do anything to help us. So we as Operation Dudula, that's whereby we realize, no, we trusting someone who doesn't even want to help us. That's why we are here. We are saying to South Africans, those shops must be closed, because even the owners, they don't eat what they sell. That tells you whatever they're selling is not good for human consumption. So we stood up as Operation Dudula to say to all South Africans who want not this false freedom, who wants the true freedom that will save us, our children, our generations to come, they should vote for us. Today we will tell them.
Okay, Bob.
Yes.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. Of course, we understand your frustrations also as Operation Dudula. Well, as you can hear, the Operation Dudula is one of the organizations that has been on the ground with the communities, more especially in Soweto, in Naledi, where we saw them also trying to intervene as far as the situation is concerned, calling, of course, for the closure of these foreign shop-owned shops. And we have seen that particular shop that was involved or allegedly involved in the incident that happened on Sunday. It remains closed up until now. Even in Protea South, when we went there, we understand that shop has also been closed for now. But investigations are still continuing, and at this point, a government saying that they really can't pinpoint at this particular stage what the cause of that alleged poisoning was. But what we understand from the city of Johannesburg, and this is from a preliminary investigation that they had carried out, we understand that one of the elements that has been traced, or compound that has been traced, is organophosphate, which is an insecticide that is found also commonly in one of the red poisons that is used in most of the townships. So the investigations, though, are still not conclusive. There's still toxicology reports that are awaited from the post-mortem results. And, of course, those very post-mortem results that are still outstanding that will give finality to this issue as to how exactly these young children were poisoned, or if at all they were poisoned.
Indeed, quite a tragic, incident here involving 5 innocent children, Manqoba Mchunu, and we'll await, of course, those lab results, even as well from the Department of Health, just to ascertain exactly what they have found with regards to their investigations. But that definitely opening up a conversation around, whether spaza shops or even taxi ranks, anywhere where food is bought, if there is compliance in ensuring that food is of consumable state before being sold to anyone, for that matter. We'll continue with you as soon as there are any other developments. Manqoba Mchunu.